Time for another installment of Oh My God.
On this week's episode of Oh My God, first up we have Brian Fisher, because he's upset about the Obamacare. He doesn't like it when people get health care, just like Jesus, and he has this to say.
We talk frequently on this program about how people who have an active, vibrant spiritual life are healthier. They live longer, they are healthier, and they are happier. So their physical health is better. What we ought to do is we ought to have an individual mandate from the government that everybody has to go to church. Because after all, Obamacare is all about improving the health of the American people. We know that going to church is good for you, it's good for your health, so we are going to mandate that you go to church for your own health, and we are going to tax the atheists who don't go to church. Now, we can't make you go to church, but we are going to penalize you if you don't. We're going to assess a tax on every atheist that doesn't go to church, because those atheists are endangering their physical health. That is actually a brilliant
He's doing a skit,
suggestion.
isn't he? This is like ironic.
Well, I mean, he can't be serious, right?
Well, no, what they're doing, this is one of those false equivalency.
Yes.
Well, let me give you a perfect example of what this is from our perspective.
Right.
When it's anything but a perfect perspective.
Right.
It's a fake analogy that leaves volumes of data out of it.
Of course.
To hold up their fake position about it, and they're playing on pure emotion. Oh, finally, my version I get to play back. I can't wait to hit something back because you hit me so hard in the other direction.
Well, I just think when he says, it's been proven that people who live a spiritual life and go to church are healthier, I'm like, well, I don't know if you would talk to some of the altar boys I went to school with. I don't know if having to pay for your own rape kit is part of it.
I remember Jerry Falwell had some really hard abs from what I remember.
Under all that.
Really good shape. Yeah.
And when he died of a heart attack at his desk, I mean, I think that was really the icing on the cake, so to speak.
Pat Robertson.
Another fine specimen of a man.
Pat Robertson gives advice on how to deal with people's problems every day on his show. People write in emails. So let's see what he has to say today about adopting kids.
He's losing it, yeah.
Susan says, I'm the mother of 3 adopted girls. I find the men I date are okay when I tell them I have 3 daughters, but when they find out that they're adopted and from 3 different countries and not my own biological children, they don't want to date anymore. Whether I tell them up front or after a couple dates, all the men are reacting the same way. They say they could be okay if the girls were, biological children and came with child support. Why are these men reacting this way? Can I answer? Because I was going to say dogs.
Don't you insult my
I'm not going to say dogs, but that's just wrong on every level.
No, it's not wrong.
It is wrong.
I mean, a man doesn't want to take on the United Nations and
Oh, my God! Wow! Holy crap!
Oh, God.
So once again, the woman who's reading the questions to Pat Robertson thinks that her response is also going to be his response, and she is woefully wrong.
By the way, this whole letter is the plot of South Pacific. I don't know if you know that.
So let's go on and see let's listen to what else he has to say.
various children, a blended family. I mean, what is it? And you don't know what problems are. I'm serious. I've got a dear friend, adopted some little kid from an orphanage down in Columbia. Child had brain damage. Grew up weird. And
Oh, my God!
He grew up foreign.
He grew up foreign.
He grew up foreign, yeah.
Foreign. Baby, what kind of brain?
Usually they outgrow that.
Pat Robertson, that does not disappoint, right? So he's got some more to say here, fellas
what's
and
been
ladies.
done to a child before you get that child, what kind of sexual abuse it's been, what kind of cruelty, what kind of food deprivation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you're not a dog because you don't want to take on that responsibility. You don't have to take on somebody else's problems. I mean, you really...
That's
what
Christian.
What a Christian sentiment.
That's what all orphans are. They're other people's problems. And Jesus said, don't take on other people's problems, especially in the form of orphans. I'm pretty
All right,
sure.
Christians, have you realized what form did you think the devil would take when he showed up? Did you think he would come in a red sateen cape with the little rubber band horns on the head?
It's like Albert Brooks in Broadcast News, right?
Right,
when he said that when he's trying to convince Holly Hunter that Bill
William
Hurt
Hurt is
is
the
the
devil.
devil.
Yeah,
Right.
Devil, he's the devil.
I know that, just as when I date a woman and I find out that she has this incredibly compassionate side that would make her adopt children, it's a total boner killer.
Well, what I do is I ask if when I was single, I would ask, well, are any of the kids Asian girls? And then we take it from there. And do they want to be in the movies? And then we take it from. Let's see. Pat Robertson has a little bit more to say here.
Does he?
You can go help people. You can minister to people. We minister to orphans all over the world. Thousands of them. We love orphans. We love helping people.
Just not in the house. Not in the house.
Adopt them.
Not in the house. Keep them outside. Keep them down in Colombia. We'll come to you. We'll come to you. Don't come to us. We'll meet you with some food and some Hershey bars.
I adopt them, and then I give them a set of skills, such as diamond digging.
It's the Christian way to let orphans stay in orphanages and feel unloved and unwanted.
Yeah. Of course, we have to perpetuate that by going ahead and killing more parents.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. He has a couple seconds left. Let's see if he can still surprise us.
Yeah, right. Maybe.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to take all the orphans around the world into my home. And I think, okay, let's get the next question.
Never mind.
I wish I could take y'all home with me.
But I'm out of time. If he could only meet my daughter, who's Chinese, she would kick him in the balls so fast. That's her personality. She would absolutely not hesitate.
That's why I would never. That's another reason. Another reason why not to adopt a foreign kid. They'll kick you in the balls.
He is guileful,
You got me. You got me.
Proving Pat Robertson's point. Way to go, Kathy. That's what happens when you get too many Jews in the same room. All right, here we go.
Wait, there's just two of us.
Yeah,
okay.
That's too many. Too many. Anyway. So
remember, in a lot of ways, Jesus was adopted, right? He wasn't.
Oh my God, he was Joseph's adoped son. He was. That's what they tell me in Catholic school when I was a kid.
And he was weird.
Yeah, he was.
Oh man, was he weird?
Genius.
Wow.
Outstanding.
Wow.
Total weirdo.
This has been Oh My God.
Oh my God!